evening, Pinotani. You are now joining us to our daily Buddha Puja, Chanting, Dhamma Reflection and Meditation program, broadcasted live from London Mindfulness Meditation Center. So as you know, if you are a regular participant, we are holding this series until the rains retreat is over, and our Katina, which is on the 24th of October. So we hope to continue this series until then. So today we have our kind sponsors, Sammani Gunawardhan and Nuvanta Gunawardhana, to bless their auntie, Loku Amma, Sita Veerasinghe, who is celebrating her 65th birthday today. So we wish her a very happy birthday. May she enjoy every happiness, good health, and long life. So we also, they would also like to remember one of the Siya or Dharmasiri Sena Nayaka, who was one of the ministers some time ago. So his 20th anniversary falls tomorrow. So would like to bless him for his happiness wherever he is, to share merit and invoke the blessings of the Triple Gem for his well-being. So we would like to recall those two intentions today, and request you to also join with us in sharing those righteous aspirations. So we'd also like to bless our online community, joining with us every day to worship the Buddha, to chant, and also to listen to the Dhamma and meditate. So we hope you will all make the most out of it, especially dedicating your evening hours to some religious practices and observances during this Vos retreat. So first of all, to begin our worship, let's say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa, to observe 5 precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Pānātipātā vīramani sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi, Adinādānā vīramani sikkhapadaṃ samādhiyāmi, Kāmesu miccācārā vīramani sikkhapadaṃ samādhiyāmi, මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. තිසරණේන සද්ධින් පංචශීලං ධම්මං අප්පමාදේන සම්පාදේ තබ්බං. So let's worship the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho. Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu. Anuttaro purisa dhammasarathi. Sattha deva manussanang buddho bhagavati. Buddhaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Ye ca buddhā atītā ca ye ca buddhā anāgatā. Paccapannā ca ye buddhā ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Natti me saraṇaṃ aññaṃ buddho me saraṇaṃ varaṃ. Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalaṃ. Uttamangena vandehaṃ pādapaṃ suvaruttamam. Buddheyo khalito doso buddho khamatu taṃ mamam. Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko. Ehi passiko opanayiko paccattaṃ veditabbo viññuhiti. Dhammaṃ jīvitaṃ yāva nibbānaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Ye ca dhammā atītā ca ye ca dhammā anāgatā. Paccapannā ca ye dhammā ahaṃ vandāmi sabbadā. Natti me saraṇaṃ aññaṃ dhammo me saraṇaṃ varaṃ. Etena sacca vajjena hotu me jaya mangalaṃ. Uttamangena vandehaṃ dhammaṃ ca tividhaṃ varaṃ. Dhammiyo khalito doso dhammo khamatu taṃ mamam. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. Ujjapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. Sāmīcipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරිස පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති සංඝං ජීවිතං යාව නිබ්බානං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි යේච සංඝා අතීතාච යේච සංඝා අනාගතා පච්චප්පන්නාච යේ සංඝා අහං වන්දාමි සබ්බදා නත්ථි මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං සංඝං ච ත්‍රිවිධෝත්තමං සංඝේයෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ සංඝෝ කමතු තං මමං ඝනසාරප්පදිත්තේන දීපේන තමදංසිනා තිලෝක දීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුදං ගන්ධ සම්භාරයුත්තේන ධූපේනාහං සුගන්ධිනා පූජයේ පූජනීයන්තං පූජාභාජන මුත්තමං වන්නගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනින්දස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේන නේන පුඤ්ඤේන මේතේන ච හෝතු මොක්ඛං උප්පං මිලායාති යතහා ඉදම්මේ කායෝ තථායාති විනාශ භාවං අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ පානීයං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ බේසජ්ජං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ සම්බං සද්ධාය පූජිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු උත්තම වන්දාමි චේතියං සම්බං සම්බඨානේ සුපතිට්ඨිතං සාරීරික ධාතු මහා බෝධින් බුද්ධ රූපං සකලං සදා යස්ස මූලේ නිසින්නෝව සම්බාරි විජයං අකා පත්තෝ සබ්බඤ්ඤුතං සත්තා වන්දේ තං බෝධිපාදපං ඉමේ ඒතේ මහබෝධි ලෝකනාථේන පූජිතා අහම්පිතේ නමස්සාමි බෝධිරාජා නමත්තතේ කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ බන්තේ බුරි පඤ්ඤ තථාගත කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ ධම්ම සන්දිට්ඨික අකාලික කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමි සංඝ සුපටිපන්න අනුත්තර එත්තාවතාච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ දේවා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා එත්තාවතාච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ භූතා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා එත්තාවතාච අම්හෙහි සම්භතං පුඤ්ඤ සම්පදං සබ්බේ සත්තා අනුමෝදන්තු සම්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමි බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා ඉදම්මේ පුඤ්ඤං ආසවක්ඛයා වහං හෝතු සම්බ දුක්ඛා පමුංචතු සාදු 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 ඔබ මේ සම්බන්ධ වී සිටින්නේ ලන්ඩන් mindfulness meditation center මගින් අන්තර්ජාලය ඔස්සේ සජීවීව විකාශනය කරන සන්ධ්‍යා භාගයේ දිනපතා කරන බුද්ධ පූජාමය පින්කම පිරිත් ධර්ම දේශනාව ඒ වගේම ධර්මානුශාසනාව සහ භාවනාවට සම්බන්ධ වෙමින් සිටිනවා. ඉතින් අද දවසේ දායකත්වයේ විශේෂයෙන් මේ වස් කාලයේ එක දිගටම කටින පින්කම ඔක්තෝබර් 24 වෙනි දවස දක්වා එක දිගට අපි වස් පින්කම් කරනවා. ඉතින් අද දවසේ දායකත්වයේ දරනවා සම්මානීය ගුණවර්ධන ශ්‍රීනාත් මහත්මයා සමගින් ඒ වගේම නුවන්ත මහත්මයා ඒ දෙමාපියන් සිසිර සහ සුනේත්‍රා ගුණවර්ධන ඒ දෙපළ සමගින් විහාරස්ථානයේ සම්බන්ධව කටයුතු කරන පින්වත්තුන් වගේම අද දවසේදී බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඒ සම්මානීය සහ ඒ නුවන්ත දරුවන් දෙපළ තමන්ගේ ලොකු අම්මා වන සීතා වීරසිංහ මෑණියන්ට අම්මා ලොකු අම්මාට 65 වෙනි උපන්දින සමන දවසේ බුද්ධ ආදී රත්නත්‍රයේ ආශිර්වාද තුලින් නිරෝගී සුවය සිත සාන්තිය දීර්ඝාෂය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒ සඳහා දවසේ දායකත්වය දරාගෙන මේ පින්කමට අප සම්බන්ධ වී සිටිනවා. ඒ වගේම අද දවසේ තමන්ගේ සියා කෙනෙක් වන ධර්මසිරි සේනානායක මහත්මයා හිටපු අමාත්‍යවරයෙක් වන ඒ ධර්මසිරි සේනානායක මහත්මයාගේ හෙට දවසේ 20 වෙනි සංවත්සරයේ යෙදෙන අවස්ථාවේදී එතුමානන්ට පරලෝවසෙන් පින්පෙත් අනුමෝදන් කරන්නට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ මහත්මයාට සාංශාරික වශයෙන් කිසිම කලක අභව ස්ථානයක නොඉපද සැනසෙලි සපවත් ජීවිත ගත කොටගෙන කෙලවර ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන බෝධියකින් උතුම් අමා මහ නිවන් සුවය සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්නටත් අද දවසේ මේ කරන්නා වූ පින් හේතු වාසනා වේවායි කියලා අපි ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. ඒ වගේම අපි එදිනෙදා නිතර දෙවලේ අපි පිරිත් සජ්ජායනා කරනවා. ඒ නිසා දැන් අපි ඒ පිරිත් සූත්‍ර ධර්මයට සහුම්කම් දෙමු. ඒ ලොකු අම්මා සීතා වීරසිංහ මෑණියන්ට එහට පස්වෙනි උපන්දිනය සමන අද දවසේ ඒ මෑණියන්ට දීර්ඝායුෂ නිරෝගී සුවය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරලා අපි ඒ පිරිත් සූත්‍රය සහුම්කම් දෙමු. We are going to chant Ratana Sutta now to bless the sponsors, Auntie Sita Veerasinghe, who is celebrating her 65th birthday. The sponsors, Sammani and Nuant, would also like to bless all of you as an online community participating in this evening religious observance. May you all be well, happy and peaceful. May you enjoy good health, especially during this lockdown time. And as always, if there are any friends that are ill, bring them to your thoughts so that and bless them, invoke them, the blessings of the Triple Gem. May they all recover quickly. May they enjoy good health and enjoy good health in future as well. We also dedicate this to all the key workers, especially the NHS doctors and nurses, also to bless them, to invoke them the blessings of the Triple Gem so that they have more courage and determination to continue their valuable services, to look after the patients as well as the families. So please listen to the chantings with great attention and respect. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Paritta Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Yani dabhutani samagatani bhummani vayani vayantalikhe Sambeva bhuta sumana bhavantu atopi sakkacca sunantu bhasitang Tasmahi bhutani sametha sabbe mettam karotha manusiya pajaya Divacaratto ca haranti e baling tasmahine rakkatha appamatta Yankinci vittang idhvahurang vasagge suvayang ratanang panitang Nano samang atti tathagatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Khayang viragang amatang panitang yadajjaga sakya muni samahito Natena dhammena samatti kinci idampi dhamme ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Yang buddha settho parivannai sucing samadhimanantarikanyamahu Samadhinatena samona vijjati idampi dhamme ratanang panitang ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ පුග්ගලා අට්ඨ සතං පසත්තා චත්තාරි ඒතානි යුගානි හොන්ති තේ දක්ඛිනේයා සුගතස්ස සාවකායි තේ සුදින්නානි මහප්ඵලානි ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේසුප්පයුත්තා මනසාදල්හේන නික්කාමිනෝ ගෝතම සාසනම්හි තේ පත්තිපත්තා අමතං විගයහ ලද්ධා මුදා නිබ්බතින් භුඤ්ජමානා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යතින්ද කීලෝ පඨවින් සිතෝ සියා චතුබ්බි වාතේභි අසම්පකම්පියෝ තතුපමං සප්පුරිසං වදාමි යෝ වරිය සච්චානි අවෙච්ච පස්සති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යේ අරිය සච්චානි විභාවයන්ති ගම්භීර පඤ්ඤේන සුදේසිතානි කිංචාපිතේ හොන්ති බුසප්පමත්තා නතේ භවං අට්ඨමං ආදියන්ති ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු සහවස්ස දස්සන සම්පදාය තයස්සු ධම්මා ජහිතා භවන්ති සක්කාය දිට්ඨි විචිකිච්ඡිතං ච සීලබ්බතං වාපි යදත්ථි කිංචි චතුහ පායේහි ච විප්පමුත්තෝ චචාබිඨානානි අබබ්බෝ කාතුං ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කිංචාපි සෝ කම්මං කරෝති පාපකං කායේන වාචා උදචේතසාවා අභබ්බෝසෝ තස්ස පටිච්ඡාදාය අභබ්බතා දිට්ඨ පදස්ස වුත්තා ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වනප්පගුම්බේ යථා භුස්සිතග්ගේ ගිම්හානමාසේ පඨමස්මින් ගිම්හේ තතුපමං ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි නිබ්බානගාමින් පරමං හිතාය ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු වරෝ වරඤ්ඤෝ වරදෝ වරාහරෝ අනුත්තරෝ ධම්ම වරං අදේසයි ඉදම්පි බුද්ධේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු කීනං පුරාණං නවං නත්ති සම්භවං විරත්ත චිත්තා ආයතිකේ භවස්මින් තේ කීන බීජා අවිරුල්හිච්ඡන්දා නිබ්බන්ති ධීරා යථායං පදීපෝ ඉදම්පි සංඝේ රතනං පනීතං ඒතේන සච්චේන සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං බුද්ධං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ තථාගතං දේව මනුස්ස පූජිතං ධම්මං නමස්සාම සුවත්ති හෝතු යානීද භූතානි සමාගතානි බුම්මානි වායානි වයන්තලික්ඛේ Tathagatam deva manussa pujitam sangham namassama suvatti hotu. Etena sacca vajjena sabba dukkham vinassatu. Etena sacca vajjena sabba bhayo vinassatu. Etena sacca vajjena sabba rogo vinassatu. Sabbitiyo vivajjantu sabba rogo vinassatu. Mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digahayuko bhave. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata. Sabba buddhanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata. Sabba dhammanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata. Sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Devo vassatu kalena sassa sampatti hetu ce. Pito bhavatu loko ce raja bhavatu dhammiko. Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika. Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu loka sasanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika. Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu dhamma desanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika. Punyantang anumoditva cirang rakhantu mam paranti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So you have been joining us to our daily broadcast of Buddha Puja, Paritta chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation. So this is continuing until 24th October. During this vast retreat, we are holding this session so that you can participate from home, especially during this lockdown time, engage in religious observances during this evening hours. And committing to it will really help you to enhance your Dhamma practice. So to enable and to support your practice, we have been broadcasting this online series. So today the sponsorship was made available, this Pinkama or this Puja and chanting was made available to you by Sammani and Nuvanta Gunavardhana. So the siblings are remembering their Loko Amma, who is celebrating her 65th birthday today, Sita Veera Singha. So they would like to wish her good health, happiness and long life. So as an online community, we will also bless her a very happy birthday and may all the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and the merit accumulated today be helpful for her well-being. So we will say sadhu 3 times, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. They'd also like to share merit with the departed one of their grandparents, Dharmasiri Sena Nayaka. Tomorrow is the 20th anniversary, so they would like to bless him wherever he is. May he also be peaceful and rejoice in our Pinkama. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So if you'd like to join and sponsor, please do contact us so we can direct you to the relevant people who are organizing this. And if your friends do not have Facebook, you can ask them to subscribe or join on YouTube channel. Just search for lmmc.online and you can participate every day and whenever you are free. So now it is time for our evening Dhamma reflection with meditation. So today is Thursday, so this is to combine with our weekly practice of mindfulness meditation. So you can see in the last few days we have been focusing on stanzas from Dhammapada and reflecting on the message advice of the Buddha for happy living, righteous living in this life, and also to achieve enlightenment. So however, the advices are really helpful, so we can make the most out of it. And we have been supporting you to enhance your Dhamma knowledge through the Dhammapada Gathas this season. So do join us every time. The themes are quite different every day. So recently we have been focusing on the word mindfulness, especially mindfulness has come up a lot of times because the word used in Buddhism is called sati. Sati means awareness or mindfulness. So establishing mindfulness is what we train ourselves or help ourselves to develop. So awareness or the ability to focus is sometimes what people also think about. Now, obviously, when we do metta bhavana, when we do Buddha puja, when we do chanting, they also help a lot for our concentration, for our peace of mind, and they can also elevate your state of mind to a certain level, and that is important. And especially during this lockdown time, we help you to achieve that peace of mind by engaging in such religious observances. So we have to bear in mind that obviously that concentration that you develop is helpful for our meditation, and they can be seen as part of samatha or tranquility, or as part of our stilling your mind practice, or practicing to calm your mind down. So when you listen to the chanting, when you listen to or when you engage in Buddha puja and other types of reflection, it does help us to calm our mind down. And if you are new to obviously meditation, you can see if a glass of water is full and and it is shaking, if there was certain dirt down here, the sediments will always be stirring up, and therefore to help yourself to settle this sediments, what we might do is to place it on the table or somewhere for it to settle, so there will be no waves, no shaky status of mind. So lots of people use, Buddhists use lots of types of meditation like chanting and so, but they also use to focus on something, and that focus is also helpful. That focus is helpful, and obviously that focus is quite important. You need a good teacher to help you to identify your nature and therefore give you the right object to meditate upon. It can also so happen though that obviously, say for example, if you do without a teacher, you might listen to music and you think you will, it helps you to calm down. You might go on a walk, you might do certain things that keep your mind occupied, and it does bring that calmness. However, say for example you are listening to music and something dropped or something happened which then disturbs your concentration and focus, then you might get a bit upset, and this is where we have to be careful. You might get upset, you might if something falls, if something breaks, and you also need to remember that because of this nature of expecting, we are expecting something out of that, and if anything is stopping that happening, we might feel angry, we might lose our calmness, we might lose our sensitivity, we might lose our patience. So if someone disturbs you from your listening to music and entertaining yourself, then you might be upset, you might feel irritated because you are being stopped from that. Similarly, if you do say, some people go on different types of practices, and it is fine, it is good, as long as perhaps you do not have a bit an expectation element in there. you should not expect something in meditation, because that expectation is what we are trying to remove as well. Don't expect something, don't expect a clean experience, because we are trying to understand the nature of mind. And when we remove this expecting value or expecting element, then the purpose of meditation is fulfilled. And as I've been telling in the past, some people think, oh, I can't meditate because my mind is wandering. And this is one thing we have to break our ice on. It's okay, mind wanders, but that is why we need to meditate. Some people think, I can't focus, because they're expecting some sort of a clean block or clean slate of practice, which is not what we are really looking for. Now, there are meditation that helps you to develop that type of concentration, and in Buddhism we have this completely clearly shown in Samma Sati, at right mindfulness, Samma Samadhi, right concentration. So as you know, this is on the meditation type called mindfulness, where we develop a skill such as what we call insight. And because when we expect something, we are trying to believe in something. You will think, if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. And that belief, we don't start from a belief. We don't start from a belief perspective. We should always start from what we are experiencing, and what we are experiencing, we then start developing our mindfulness from there. Obviously, in the discourse of Satipatthana, they establish a mindfulness. There are 4 ways or 4 categorical explanation of how to develop mindfulness. Because when we expect something, we are a bit picky, we are choosy. I want this, I'm going to do this. When you expect something, you are choosy. And there are sometimes fault in this, because obviously some people might think, okay, if you don't have a target, then what's the point? The target here is for us to be mindful, and simple as that. The target here for us is to be mindful. When we are mindful, then we can start from the experience that we have, the experience how your mind starts working. So we don't need a place to sit down, we don't need a good environment. Anything can be, the noisier the place is, sometimes it can be helpful. Sometimes we think we have to have a very peaceful environment to meditate. Maybe not. You can meditate everywhere. You can meditate, you can be mindful, you can develop this mindfulness at workplace, in the kitchen when you're cooking, in the garden, and when you're walking, when you are sleeping. Sleeping means not full sleep, but when you're lying down, when you're sitting down, when you're watching television, when you're doing certain things, you can establish your mindfulness. So environment doesn't matter. Yes, if you sit down quietly, somewhere, peaceful, it is very helpful, but that does not mean that an environment is meditation. Meditation is inside, within yourself, the way you work on your development of this practice. So garden can be a good place, a peaceful place. Traveling in a vehicle, bus can be a good place. When someone is shouting, you can be mindful. When someone is angry, you can be mindful. When you're angry, you can be mindful. We need to start from this knowing business, knowing that it is there, knowing that this is happening, and this is the experience. So you don't have to believe in this anger. You don't have to believe in that someone is angry when the person is angry. So the starting point is not believing. That's why I said don't expect, because when you believe, you're expecting something. So the starting point is from realizing that this is happening, and this is where the mindfulness can be developed gradually. So when someone is angry, as I said, you don't have to believe that this person is angry. This person is angry. When you are feeling uncomfortable with your posture or with your sitting, with your working, with your experiences, there's no point of believe. It is there. The pain is there. You don't have to believe that there is pain. So that can be a very good object to actually contemplate and focus on. So knowing that it is there. So that's why the Buddha says, in terms of our suffering, our experiences, in terms of this type of experience, this unhappiness or expectation builds this unhappiness. And I've been referring to in the past few talks about all these fixated views, all these likes and dislikes, and these are what actually make us expect something different. So when I'm uncomfortable, my expectation is, I hope this is going to be a good seat, or I like that. I don't want to feel this pain. You want to reject that pain. I don't like this old, or I want this new thing. My phone is old, I want to buy a new one, or my car is old, I want to get a new one. So we want to get rid of something, and we expect something as well. And this is what creates this experience, which we might not realize that it is creating this something that we would expect from everything. And this expectation business comes from our understanding, our views, our likes, our dislikes, our memories. And therefore, we need to be in a position to not bear witness, but identify its presence when it happens. When you sit down, you might feel uncomfortable. So you can realize that, okay, my mind, my body is in pain. So that is one point. So that is body reflection. The sensation is uncomfortable. It is giving physical pain and might even cause mental pain with the sensation. So that is contemplation on the feelings. So kaya anupassana, vedana anupassana. And you might also notice that your mind is feeling a bit uncomfortable, it's agitated, it's feeling irritated. And if you're be aware of that, is chittanupassana, looking at this irritating mind, looking at this painful mind, or looking at this wanting to change attitude, wanting to change your posture attitude. And the more you actually would want to stop moving, then the more you feel the pain increasing, then there is this irritation developed to such a level that you might even go beyond thinking, when is this going to finish, this session? Because we do say try not to move unless it's really physically feeling you discomfort. Because it is this complaining mind that we have to try to understand. And this is the reality. This is the reality. There's nothing to believe in this. And the moment it happens, then you can actually experience it. Because you don't have to expect the pain to come. If it comes, it is there. So we are not actually trying to look for things. We're trying to actually be mindful of as it happens. And as you know, mind is always seeking entertainment. It feels bored. The moment you try to make your mind stay in breathing, what is exciting in looking at this breath? There's nothing exciting. Tell your mind to watch a film or look at some pictures, go in the garden and look at beautiful flowers and things. The mind would want to do that. Mind also might be exciting in looking at certain violent things. But what is exciting in this breathing? Mind feels bored. So definitely mind will wander around. you can glue onto the TV for 3 hours watching a film without even noticing someone coming or going to your in your presence. But whereas when you try to glue yourself into breathing, you find your mind is wanting more excitement and gets bored with this. And this is why perhaps the same thing, when your mind, when we don't move our position, when there is a pain or when there is some sort of irritation, even like itching business, when it is itchy and you don't move your hand, and you can see that we are not being slaves to the mind or the thinking. The mind gets bored in that and will not take that as a point of excitement. So therefore, when we are mindful of this, when you are mindful of this irritating mind, the itchiness will also slowly go away, because you are not attending to it. So you can see how the mind actually works, and this expecting is what we are trying to stop, because mind, we have to be mindful of as it happens. So when there is this, we see notice the itchiness presence or the pain presence in your body. And when the mind actually gets attracted to something else, then there is this absence of it. There is this absence of the itchiness, absence of the pain. And sometimes mind would visit back and have a look, where is this pain gone? At that note, if the mind was in the knee where the pain was, for example, and then the absence of pain, so we need to work. So why Dhammasanga? Why is so there is this absence of pain. So the state of mind or this engagement of this all happens with our experiences. You might want to call it Chitta Sankhara. These are the states of mind arising because of the conditions. And mind can absorb everything. When our eyes are closed, when our ears are obviously widely open, nose is widely open. But just because our mind are closed doesn't mean mind doesn't see things. Mind will recall memories from our recall events and from our memory banks, and even might want to work on those things. Sometimes they might be deeply rooted pain and or happiness. They might also pop up in this platform of mind. When your mind is bored or not getting any attraction, then it goes and looks into those. And if you're something painful, because when the mind is trying to be calm, then those things might come and distract you. So distracting mind, observe as distracting mind. Wandering mind, observe as wandering mind. The presence of certain thing, observe as its presence. If it is gone, observe the absence of it. Because your mind was engaged somewhere, and then if your mind was thinking about shopping, and suddenly when you train your mind to come back to breathing and realize that mind has gone somewhere else, maybe it was abroad. So the shopping mind was not there, and this is the broad traveling mind was there. So we, as much as we realize this mind, the shifting of this gear, we notice the absence of something, Dhammanupassana. And we need to realize that these expectations come because of this deeply rooted whichever likes and dislikes that we have nurtured from some time ago. I don't want to go into the track of Pancha Nivarana at the moment, five hindrances, but it is about this, these expectations and desires and wanting it to change in your way is what we always see these things. So last week we've been trying to, or the past few sessions, we've been advising you to see which channel your mind is and be mindful of that there. If your channel was in the eyes, so information is coming from the eyes, be mindful that this is seeing. I'm actually seeing something. I'm actually working on something. It might be So you can see something in your eyes, you can hear something. So don't use the word listening, because that is an active, or hearing is just without action. So hearing is letting it happen. Listening means you pay attention to listen. So we don't say listening. You can think in that way, but we just say hearing. Tasting, feeling, thinking, wondering. So mind, you can think of lots of words. Because do remember, because as I said earlier, this whatever is happening, especially with the mind, it is about this judgment that we come. And this is where this links to our expectations, because the expectations is evolving, perhaps depending on our judgments that we have. So we have to think about this experience that we have now, and we need to, because when we make a judgment, it's like a magnet, you stick with that. So our expectations, our likes and dislikes are all based on our fixed views or memories or experiences. So we have to learn how to be non-judgmental. So just detach from it. When we say detach, we are seeing as it is. When we connect with it and make a judgment, we have then stuck with it. When we stick with it, or when we just experience it, we have a tendency to like or dislike it. And mind does go further than that. So we're trying to think of not attaching with it. Don't let your likes expect something more. As I said earlier, I don't want this pain, or I wish there was a better cushion next time. So even that small pain that you experience, which you might not experience when you sit down for 3 hours watching TV, this 10 minutes of meditation might make you see that there are uncomfortable positions that you take sometime. So we will form an opinion about the pain, the posture, the chair, the session online. Your experiences will make it quite form a judgment. So all of these channels that we talk about, should never have our knowledge coming to filtered information. We just say seeing for that reason. Even identifying as a male voice, female voice, the sound of the fridge, the sound of the doorbell, we are using our perception to actually identify a certain thing. And the moment we start using our perceptions, there is a tendency that it will proliferate into something different. Or is this is my son's voice, it's my daughter's voice. So we start working on that, and then it brings us a more pathways to make or come to judgments or have opinions about it. Why is this person saying that? Shouldn't be saying this. I am the father, I am the mother, I am the husband, I am the wife. They shouldn't be saying this. They should be listening to me. All of these thoughts might come. I'm not saying they will come, but we need to transform and train our mind in this mindfulness, that we have to stop coming to opinions or bringing opinions and judging those channels. So when there's expectation, as I said earlier, there is this personal opinions coming to it. So being mindful is about observing how the mind functions, where it goes, what it happens. And therefore, when we there is nothing that you don't have to be choosy or picky in finding an object. It's just so open-ended. So this is where Vipassana helps a lot to realize that actually there's no one object that we have to focus. We just have to be in the freelance and just let the mind do the job, and then see as it happens without forming any opinion. No judgment. Because when we judge, we categorize things into our likes and dislikes. And then back to the same old story, we suffer because we want something differently or we don't want something differently. So we make criticisms, comments. All of this is what makes this unhappy experience. So reflect on this. So mindfulness is quite. It's not trying to choose something and say and make it happen. So yes, we do choose breathing as a foundation point, which is again to settle the mind down. But we are observing the mind, how it functions. So I remember some time guys said that, a sitting practice, maybe a half an hour, 1 hour, or 10 minutes, however long you sit, you can try to establish your mindfulness in all 4 ways. If it is in the body, notice it. If it is in the sensation, notice it. If your mind is wandering, emotions, frustration, wandering mind, greed, lust, passion, irritation, anger, doesn't matter. Anything is a very good object in this, and just observe it as it is without any judgment. Don't even say anger is wrong or anger is bad. Just observe it. There is anger in my mind now. Let it go. Come back to breathing. Looking at the changes of these thought processes, looking at the way the mind is changing and objects and wandering. They're all that observation, looking at in your desires or perhaps your expectations from the viewpoint of changing nature. Because you can see those thought processes are not in your control. So observing that can be Dhammanupassana. So all 4 can be done as we practice any session, any sitting session. We can go more deeper in this another day of how the Dhammanupassana works. But today again, as usual, we will start off with our settling of mind down through scanning the body. Some find this quite different, but some of us find it quite easy to settle the mind down. So do join with us, and then from there we will go with the breathing exercise. So breathing is the home wherever mind goes. All you have to do is 3 things. Recognize what it is. That's where the experience starts, so note it. Then let it go, so release. And then come back to your home, breathing, that is return. So recognize, release and return. And even if you have to do this 1,000 times, it's still okay. That is mindfulness, because you are aware where the mind is. Mind is aware, that is mindfulness. If you're not aware, then you're not mindful. Simple as that. So what you're experiencing at that moment, just be mindful of that. Okay? So 3 requests. Sit straight, so balanced body. So you can adjust yourself. If you're sitting on a chair or stool, make sure you don't lean your back. And your hands, right hand on your left palm, and place them on your lap. And third thing is to gently close your eyes. Okay, so just relax. No expectation, nothing. Don't even think this session is going to be really good. Don't form opinions. Just be free of everything. And just be mindful first of your sitting posture. And be happy and thankful that you are able to commit yourself this evening to this session. You are healthy enough, you are free and happy and committing to this. Now be mindful of the people sitting around you, with you. Thanking them for their support and their presence. Be grateful for this mutual support. It's wonderful. This is Kalyana Mitta, supporting each other in their practice. And be mindful of other members in the family, and as I always say, no comments, no criticisms if they don't participate with you. Just be happy for them and let it go. Just be mindful of your surroundings, your infrastructure, whatever room you are, just be aware of those for a while. And coming back to yourself, and now let's observe, scanning the body to settle our mind down. So I will call stations as parts of the bodies, and whatever your mind grasps, just notice it, no comment, don't look for other things, don't delve in it, don't look into it, just observe as it is. If it is the touch, it is the part of the body, or the sensation, the pressure, the touch, whatever it is, just observe it. So if I say feet, so if you notice that your feet is firm on the floor, or you experience some coldness or heat, just be with that for a while. See, don't let your mind wander here and there. Be with that experience. Okay? So take your mind to your feet and just observe and stay there for a while. Whatever your mind grasps, notice it without any comments. Your ankles. So if you are sitting down, your outer ankle will have a different focus to your inner ankle. So if it is touching the floor as you are sitting down on the floor, you can observe the touch, for example. Inner ankle, and up to your knees, your sitting posture, your bottom. Your waist. Upright body at your back. Your shoulders. On your arms to your elbows. To your hands. To your head and face. Now do the reverse order from head to toe. In about 2 minutes, just scan the body without any judgment. Just scan the position and sensation in the body. Don't look for things as you move to the stations. Whatever your mind grasps, be mindful of it. Now bring your attention to your breath and just watch that breath. You can use initially with the visualization technique. Just imagine the air going through your nostrils, and as it goes, you can sense the coldness through your nostrils, through your respiratory passage to your lungs. And as you breathe out from your nostrils, you can sense the warm air coming out. Breathing in and breathing out. If you are really new to this meditation, use the counting method to start to support your practice. You can pinpoint the start of your in-breath as 1, the continuity of the in-breath as 2, and the moment you stop taking in your breath, 3. Similarly, out-breath, pinpoint the start, 3, continuity as 2, and the moment you stop breathing out, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So the 2 is the duration of your breath. So if it is long, be mindful it is a long breath. If it is short, be mindful it is a short breath. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So the rest can just breathe in and breathe out. Just notice the breath, long breath, long out breath, short in breath or short out breath. You can see the whole breath as a whole in breath and whole out breath. So there are lots of ways of training your mind to see the breath. You can see it as a journey, going in and coming out. You can see it as blocks, breathing in, breathing out. You can see it as rise and fall. So stay with the breath. Should your mind wander, just remember the 3 R's. Recognize what your channel was doing, or what your mind was doing, seeing, hearing, or thinking, or worrying, for example. Let it go and then come back to breathing. Don't move your posture, don't even move your hand to scratch, just stay with your breath. Train your mind to stay with the breath. Then you can notice how the mind functions. the end of our session today. Thank you for joining with us. We start this program every day at 6:30 in the evening. Today is focused on mindfulness, so other days we do Metta Bhavana. So as usual, we have sponsors sponsoring the event every day until the Kathina robe offering ceremony on 24th October. So today Sammani Gunawardhan and Brother Navanta Gunawardhana would like to dedicate this religious observance program for their auntie Sita Veerasinghe, who is celebrating her 65th birthday today. So may she receive all the blessings and good health, and may she be happy throughout. They would also like to dedicate this to their one of the grandparents, Dharmasiri Senanayake, who passed away 20 years ago. So tomorrow is the 20th anniversary. So may he be well, happy and peaceful wherever he is. May he attain the blissful state of Nibbana as well. So with those kind intentions, we will say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So do join us tomorrow as well at 6:30. We'll continue with our Dhamma reflection from Dhammapada. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a lovely evening.